2 touchdowns, passer rating of 129, and 3 2-point conversions. That was good. Did Darnold change his narrative last night?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
No question about it. And all week I was saying what? Sam, prove me wrong.
That's true.
And he did. I said it at least twice, maybe 3 times on this show.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt him that I put him #1 on the Bud list. I mean, I gave him a little help.
You said you believed in
And he delivered. And Nick, I think the way it happened is perfect. That's the perfect way to end this narrative about you. Okay.
A lucky 2-point conversion.
No. He started out terribly, obviously. 2 interceptions. The first 50 minutes, he was living down to the narrative.
Yes.
And everybody was like, here we go again. They're done. He's not a guy you can rely on in the playoffs or in big games. And the Seahawks season is basically, they're not going to make any noise. And here's the thing. He knew all that. He knows the narrative that has surrounded him. All right? So in addition to all of us who are watching, saying and thinking that had to be swirling around in his head.
Sure.
Not even just in the back of his mind, but maybe in the front of his mind. So with all of that going on, it was a real gut check moment. It's like, is this really who I am? Just a guy that can play against tomato cans? Or can I really deliver against the big teams in the big moments?
Yeah.
And so I think with all of that going on, for him to do what he did and turn it around that way, I thought it was great. Now, I'm not saying he's about to be a Hall of Fame or anything. I'm just saying he stepped up huge in a big moment. And I do think, Nick, you had the numbers up there. In overtime, he was 5 for 6, 49 yards. Obviously, the touchdown, the 2-point conversion.
He was good in
game.
overtime.
Huge
I
game.
do not think he was good in the comeback. And
You don't think so?
That touchdown
No,
pass
well,
wasn't bad.
God.
Obviously, Rashid Shaheed was.
God.
I mean, so
saved him.
the Rashid,
but then he picked
Rashid
it up.
Shaheed saved him. Part of the comeback was a terrible pass on a 2-point conversion that got batted down. And listen, I will give him credit for the touchdown pass prior to the 2-point conversion, but that was more about, as they showed on the broadcast, the tight end's route and a coverage bust and him being wide open. And I feel like his coach was telling us during the comeback he had lost faith in him, understandably. Here's a play on 3rd and 10 in a tie game with 4 minutes left, where, to me, Mike McDonald is saying, if we run the video, I do not believe that's, or 3rd and 7, Sam Darnold can be trusted to throw the ball down the field right now. In overtime, he came through with some great plays, Brew, where I will meet you halfway is this. I think he now has a chance to change the narrative.
This is utterly astonishing. My goodness. This is simply unbelievable. Now, there's a desire to attribute the success elsewhere. This will necessitate 2 distinct segments, because I am aware that later in the program there will be extensive praise for Matthew Stafford, and I want this moment remembered. I intend to incorporate this specific portion into that subsequent analysis. The commentary suggested a pivotal play was successful primarily due to the tight end, the play call, and the schematic design. It is imperative to maintain that identical analytical energy when endlessly lauding Matthew Stafford, declaring he has secured the MVP and is phenomenal, because that performance was a quintessential Sean McVay orchestration. A McVay special. Sam Darnold performed exceptionally. That specific play was not an indication of a lack of trust in his deep passing ability. The objective was to get the ball into the hands of a specific playmaker, which they had struggled to accomplish consistently throughout the contest. Launching the football downfield was not an issue of trust for Darnold. If they dialed up that particular deep shot, clearly they had confidence in his arm. The logic is contradictory. It was a beautifully designed play, but it still required him to deliver an accurate deep throw. The situation was 3rd and long. Conceptually, it was analogous to a handoff or a screen, an attempt to catch the defense off guard, to gain the necessary yardage in an unexpected manner. Personally, I wasn't enamored with that play call in that specific down and distance. I would have preferred it on 1st or 2nd down. However, one can comprehend the reasoning. In a tightly contested game, the defense is hyper-focused on protecting the first down marker. The hope is that by getting the ball to that specific playmaker in space with blockers, his speed and elusiveness can slither through for the conversion. I understand the schematic intent. To assert that the coaching staff distrusted Sam Darnold in that game is patently absurd because they literally placed the football in his hands on every single critical play. The throws he made to key receivers, the touchdown passes. Yes, one two-point conversion was fortunate, but the others were clear directives. Sam, we need you to see it and let it rip. They were explicitly entrusting him with the outcome. They weren't resorting to gimmicky quick passes or end-arounds. They were demanding he make the read and deliver. The two-point conversion throw was a testament to that trust. See it and release it. He was fitting the ball into tight windows consistently, even when the game's momentum was unfavorable and interceptions occurred. Analyst commentary noted that the prevailing narrative would unfairly critique Darnold's performance, which misrepresented the game's actual flow. It was a defensive masterclass by the opponent. There were fundamentally very few viable options for Darnold. Conversely, on the opposing sideline, Matthew Stafford spent the afternoon throwing to receivers who were consistently schemed wide open. Before proceeding further, a heartfelt request to Seattle Seahawks supporters. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to watch this video in its entirety. Your fan base is one of the originals for this channel, and I have consistently observed that when you all engage in this manner, the impact is monumental. I am striving intensely. I desire another 10,000 Seahawks fans as we approach the postseason. We must achieve this. I am so invigorated, and currently, so thoroughly exasperated. This is completely irrational. Now, I do not believe Sam Darnold fundamentally altered the overarching narrative surrounding him either, but for divergent reasons. Frankly, the narrative being challenged was never my own to begin with. When I reference changing the narrative, I am adopting a meta perspective, analyzing the broader external discourse. A single game does not necessarily rectify that. However, there has been considerable dialogue asserting Darnold is incapable of a specific type of performance. He has demonstrated he can, but what genuinely defines greatness is the capacity to execute with regularity. Not perpetually, Patrick Mahomes has failed on comeback attempts. Josh Allen has thrown interceptions on potential game-winning drives. Everyone encounters failure and struggles. The perception existed that Sam Darnold could not withstand the pressure of pivotal moments. He has substantiated that he can. The subsequent question is, can he do it regularly? The predicament for Darnold is that he still operates with a very abbreviated leash and a limited portfolio in this specific regard. Therefore, if he falters or struggles, as Josh Allen did with a critical interception in a comeback attempt against Houston, the critique will be swift. One could never credibly claim Allen choked. He simply lost. Choking implies an inability to handle the moment. Losing is an inherent outcome of competition. The expectation that a quarterback will perpetually engineer comebacks is unrealistic, as evidenced by subsequent games. The evaluation is never binary, capable or incapable of success. It is about the volume and frequency of success, or the rate of failure. Darnold has not yet amassed enough of these high-leverage moments to establish that rate. However, Sam Darnold has already proven he is an excellent quarterback, a great quarterback, a top-tier quarterback. To question whether he can handle the moment and perform with the consistent magnitude of Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Joe Burrow is to reference an exceptionally exclusive echelon. We must cease the false dichotomy that a quarterback either resides in the Mahomes-Allen stratum or is worthless, deserving of dismissal. That is not how quarterback evaluation functions. Not every individual can be an unequivocal, bona fide superstar quarterback who rises to every occasion incessantly. It is an impractical and absurd standard through which to view the position. Darnold delivering a performance like this is tremendous. This is also why I am more critical of a quarterback like Dak Prescott in certain discussions, where it is suggested that with marginally better coaching or roster support, he would ascend to the Allen/Mahomes tier. That is fundamentally irrational. Similarly, further along that spectrum, we have Sam Darnold, where the logic suggests that unless he proves he is on that elite level, he is a mere pumpkin. That, too, is fundamentally irrational. In this game, Sam Darnold was delivering significant throw after significant throw while confronting an immense degree of adversity. These were not self-inflicted errors, as previously stated. They were the result of facing a defensive masterclass, which is arguably more daunting. As a player, comprehending that the opposition is simply out-executing and out-scheming you, rather than you committing unforced errors, presents a distinct psychological challenge. If you are making mistakes, you can correct them. If you are being systematically outmaneuvered, you must rely on your coaching staff to provide schematic solutions. The problem transcends, "You shouldn't have thrown that pass." It becomes, "How do we solve this puzzle they've presented?" That demands a different caliber of resilience. If you simply make an errant throw, as Matthew Stafford did, missing a wide-open receiver for a touchdown, or lofting a pass that was nearly intercepted, that is easily surmountable. Everyone makes poor throws. Some face consequences, others avoid them. You can move past that. But being systematically confounded by a defense is a wholly different adversary. Demonstrating the fortitude to navigate that adversity was exceptional. It warrants every ounce of praise. Therefore, attempting to diminish his role in that comeback victory is absolutely and unequivocally absurd, insane, and ridiculous. I eagerly anticipate the subsequent segment where Stafford is celebrated as having locked up the MVP, accompanied by effusive praise for his 450-yard performance. I will be ready. I will replay the exact soundbite where it was asserted that Darnold's big touchdown shouldn't be credited to him, but rather to the play design and the tight end. I will remember that. Thank you for the setup. I know it is guaranteed to occur. But those are simply my reflections. I would be delighted to hear yours. What are everyone's thoughts on this? Share your perspectives in the comments section below. I read every single comment. Whether you agree with me or challenge me, let's engage in some dialogue. Let's have some spirited debates, but ultimately, let's simply enjoy the conversation. Please consider subscribing. We are cultivating an incredible community here and would absolutely adore your participation. I aim to build something we all feel a genuine connection to, something we're truly enthusiastic about joining. I believe we are making significant progress toward that goal. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it genuinely assists with visibility and the platform's algorithm. Thank you so very much. I will see you all next time.